welcome back to the channel. This is a special one, a celebration of LeBron James' career really. 20 years in the NBA, 20 shoes with Nike, and it's an absolute beauty. It's amazing, like it is so good. Like I'm really surprised. I was a bit on the fence to start off with because of the price point, but managed to get a hold of them under retail, and oh yeah man, like I can see what all the fuss is about, so no more hesitation, let's get straight into it. First of all, just very quickly, the box. It's got a little kind of spiel here about LeBron James. It's got his kind of crest logo up the top here, and talking about the time he was in Cleveland, Miami, and then back to Cleveland, and now obviously he's in Los Angeles with the Lakers. The box isn't really fancy as such. It's got a little kind of perforations on the side, X and X for the 20, and then through the perforation you can see the LeBron logo. I'll put that to the side. But what's in the box is interesting. Two things really. You get this little card. It gives you a kind of tech spec breakdown of what's actually in the shoe, which I'll use this to go through. And on the back of it, you've also got this kind of print. Now this is actually a cross on the shoes as well. I'll get close-ups of that for you. But really nice detail, and this is what this shoe is all about, details. And again, we'll go through it. First thing, the little kind of cardboard shoehorn. Now, I don't really know, I've never really had too many LeBron shoes, so I've never really noticed this in the past, but it does have the LeBron Lion logo on the top of it, which I thought was a nice touch, considering it's just an insert for your shoe, just to keep it shaped. But again, nice touch by Nike there. And then onto the shoe. So this one here is the Violet Frost, and this one here is the Trinity colorway, which is more or less the Miami Heat. If you're going to spend that kind of money on a shoe, you want to make sure that you get what you pay for first and foremost. But this shoe has an abundance of little Easter eggs, little small amounts of detail, and I think that really separates itself from other shoes. And the fact that it's LeBron's 20th shoe, you can clearly see there's been a lot of time, effort put into this, and it's fantastic to see, to be honest. So I'm going to get started, and I'll try and remember everything as I go through it because there's that much on it. But to start off with, the traction, so far so good. It's really nice. It's a nice hardware and feeling rubber. I think this will perform really well indoors. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't outdoors, but you'd be absolutely batshit crazy to spend that amount of money and use this as an outdoor shoe, so I wouldn't recommend it. I would obviously keep this for indoor use where you can. And again, on the bottom here, you've got the LeBron logo, which is a nice detail. You can see the kind of the clothes he's wearing, and you've got in the midfoot, you've got a carbon fibre shank plate. Now, another little detail that they've put on this, now I've never really seen this on too many shoes, to be honest. I can't really think of many that I have. There's a perforation here in the outsole, and the only reason I can think that's there is like a pressure release for the Cushlon. From when it compresses, this is allowed to obviously move in and out. It's a nice thing to have. The reason being, there's too many shoes that have got nice cushion setups, but they're caged, so that way there's nowhere for the cushion to go, so it makes it feel more denser than what it actually is. So that's a nice touch by Nike, having that little kind of pressure release on the side. Moving up into the actual cushion itself, it's, like I said, it's full with Cushlon. And again, I think this is like the first time Cushlon's been used in a LeBron shoe. I'm not a massive fan of the LeBron shoe line. The reason being, half of them feel like bouncy castles on your feet. You don't get a lot of court feel either. And another big thing that I don't like about Air Max units is when you actually put pressure on the Air Max unit when you're walking, it actually sends the force that you generate back up through your leg, which isn't really great for the back of your calf. Over time, I feel like I get a bit of an aching feeling, and that's purely where it comes from. A lot of runners, such as like marathon runners or any sort of like hobbyists, etc., do it as like a kind of leisurely thing. They mainly use foams like Cushlon. Reason being that when they hit the ground, the impact gets dispersed horizontally, so that way the force doesn't go back through the leg. That's one of the main reasons I don't like wearing Air Max units and shoes, because I tend to feel it after a while. But ultimately the Cushlon setup is really nice. In the back we have got a double stack air zoom unit in the heel, and we've got a zoom turbo unit in the forefoot. Both feel very plush, responsive, and give you the impact protection that you need. So again, they've taken that setup from other lines such as the Kyrie line, and then they've implemented it into this shoe as a low rather than being Kyrie's were like mids. So again, that's quite refreshing. But the way it's been implemented in this with the Cushlon and the heel zoom unit is very, very nice how it feels on court. On the lateral side, we've got this outrigger, which is a sturdy to say the least. It works very well. And then you've got this lateral rail guard to help your foot containment. And there's a nice print on there, and again, it echoes the print on the back of this card. This one here looks kind of different actually compared to the black, the Trinity pair. The one on the Trinity pair has this like kind of leaf print, but this one here doesn't actually. And when I look at the card, I can see some parts of it. Yeah, there's a film in there, there's a film there. Yeah, it's just a different angle, that's all it is. So that print's on the lateral guardrail, and then moving up to the knit itself, very nice. The only main issue I could see with that would probably be breathability after a while. However, it feels very soft to touch, very soft when it's on your foot. And that area there is then stitched onto very nicely a toe drag area just to kind of help you out there. It's not the biggest, I'm not complaining, I'm not really one for dragging my foot or anything, but that area there has again got the same print as the lateral guardrail. Moving up, you've got the double swoosh, which is obviously quite a focal point on the shoe. The one in the background is stitched straight into the knit. The one in the foreground is stitched to a certain degree, but then it's kind of floating at the back here, and then we've got a little bit at the top here. So it's not a terrible thing, it's a nice design feature. Only worry would be if that gets caught, but the chances of that getting caught are probably relatively slim. Not really anything to worry about, just to make you aware though. And then on the back here we've got the LeBron James logo, which looks like a nice piece of leather, however it probably is synthetic. But then again, I could be wrong. Moving up again, we've got this nice little yellow piping around this one here. We've got this kind of reflective material around the piping area, and then we've got a nice detailing. It's like a kind of like a suede synthetic material where the lace loops are. Now the lace loops, the fact that it feels very strong, so it's like reinforced, so you would be able to pull the laces quite tight to get lockdown, which is a nice touch. On the inside, the second to the top, there's a lace loop that looks as if it goes all the way. Let's see where that goes to. Yeah, that looks as if that might go all the way down to the footbed. And then you've got this kind of metal eyelet that's basically giving the top lace loop a bit of reinforcement, which is really nice. At the bottom, at the front, we've got the lace debris, and then this is where things get a wee bit interesting. That in terms of like the small Easter eggs and things in the shoe. Before I get to that, actually, there's actually a sock liner inside. It actually starts about here on the shoe, and then the lace, there's no connection to the footbed with the tongue whatsoever. The tongue itself is the knit, and then the actual thickness of the tongue is very well padded, feels very plush, and it's very comfortable to give you that protection for when you're tying your shoelaces as well. The top part here is like a suede material on the Violet Frost, and the same on the Trinity. Now, if I put these two together, as I was saying, this is where the Easter eggs kind of start. You've got two X's there, one in each one, and that combined 20. You've then got two at the top, obviously 20 on each side. And on the inside, there's two little patches. On the left foot, it's the same on both pairs. On the left foot, it says LeBron 20 Pink Diamond Collection, established 2003. And then on the right shoe, it says designed and engineered to the exact specifications of the next generation. Next, as in the E and the X are X and X for the 20. Very nice touch. And LeBron apparently got his kids involved in helping put this shoe together, and that is very refreshing in itself. He's obviously taking the time to think, do you know what, like, maybe it's about time I get my kids involved with this, so which is good. In regards to the Nike Sphere on the actual shoe itself, it's a nice material, very soft. You can feel it feels a wee bit bumpy, so I'm not entirely sure. I couldn't find too much on it, but from what I've read, it kind of molds to you the shape of your foot after a while. Could also whip away some sweat as well. So a new technology, which again Nike didn't really document too much well on the card, but still very comfortable touch. A new technology being implemented is always well. In regards to how the shoe feels, when you first put your foot in, step in comfort is very nice. The actual insole itself feels good quality, and then in the inside there's a little circular patch in both of them. Now on the Violet Frost it's just the regular purple, but inside the Trinity, I was a bit surprised to see this the first time. I thought it was actually a mistake when I seen it online, but it wasn't. They've actually made this like the South Beach colorway for Miami on the inside, which obviously doesn't really match the outside of the shoe, but it is really nice. Again, from what Nike have put together here. This shoe has a lot going for it. There's a lot of talk of it. When I first read about it, a lot of people talking about how it was the next Kobe, or the nearest thing to a Kobe shoe. There is shoes out there that are very similar to Kobe shoes, and I believe that this hopefully is the way forward, that Nike are going to look at the LeBron line. In my opinion, this is the best LeBron. I had some previous ones like the 17s. I think I had like the 11s, you know, and they were okay, you know. Like I didn't love them. I thought they were alright. I mean, I don't have any of them anymore, so that says a lot that I've sold a few pairs over the years. But this one in particular, it's just different. You know, it doesn't feel like the previous ones. The fact that it's a low top, it's got no Air Max units, it's Zoom and Cushlon put together, which a lot of the Kobe lines were very similar to, if not Cushlon and Air Zoom included. You know, I believe that they've really kind of looked at LeBron's career. LeBron's probably said, I do know that the last LeBron, the 19, he wasn't a big fan of. I read that. So this here hopefully is the first of many more to come this way, this style, because it works. And LeBron's in the twilight of his career, so he's not got many more years left, and we should really take the time to appreciate what LeBron's doing on the court for his age and for the length of time he's been in the NBA. Shattered so many records, he's still got more to break, I'm sure, but his shoe is reflecting what he needs on the court. Comfort, lightweight, just a shoe that performs at a high level. The fact he's not get any sort of interference in the ankle area says a great deal as well, because obviously he's needing to be able to move. He doesn't really want to have that kind of restriction. Maybe he doesn't need the support anymore, you know, maybe he wants to feel a wee bit more free when he's moving. So I think this shoe speaks volumes, not just as what he needs in the court right now, but his growth as a player, and thinking, do you know what, like maybe this is the direction to go. And then obviously his sons, Bryce and Bronny, have obviously got involved and said, look, how about you try this, you silly old fucker. So yeah, like I think what Nike have done here has been tremendous. I really do. I've got these two colorways. The now there's the land colorway. I'll put a picture up. Also the debut colorway, sorry, for Cleveland. That's out just now. There is also, let me get this one right, stocking stuffer. That comes out on the 22nd, I believe. It's like the grunge colorway. I'm just going to call it the grunge color. Stocking stuffer, right? They bought on Nike. So the grunge colorway is coming out. There's also this one coming out that I've seen. I don't know when, there's no date release, but it looks pretty much like a Lakers colorway. I think that is absolute fire, and I would 100% snap that up when that comes out. So I'm really pleased with these two. I think these two are the pick of the bunch that have come out so far. The Time Machine did come out, and I think it looked nice, but because it's the knit, I'm a wee bit pernickety when it comes to lighter colourway shoes, that if it's a white knit, it'll probably get dirty easily over time. Also, the debut colourway has got an icy blue outsole. The stocking stuffer, the Grinch, has got a icy blue outsole as well, and over time the bad boys tend to yellow, discolour, and that is something that I'm spending this kind of money on a shoe. I want to make sure that I'm getting that outsole that's going to last and not discolour and change, you know. So I'm a wee bit hesitant on buying day ones. Plus I've already got a couple of pairs that I've got the Kobe Mamba Instinct Grinch colourway, I've got the Elf collaboration for the Clyde All Pro, and I've also got the Grinch Forum Lows that I've done a video on. If you've not checked that out, check that out. So yeah, like I'm going to hold off a wee bit, but I just wanted to do this video. It's been something that I was waiting on this pair arriving. They arrived yesterday, and I wore them at the gym last night. Very comfortable, lightweight, lockdown's fantastic, responsive, court feel, you know, like it has everything, and I get it. It does feel like a Kobe shoe. It feels like a more refined Kobe shoe. There's more kind of detail has been put into it. Materials feel very plush, and again, if you want to part way with your hard-earned cash, you want to make sure that the shoe you're getting, and you're getting value for money, and it's worth it. I can tell you right now, it's worth it. Last thing to note is, any time that I've went to buy these, they've went very quickly. This shoe is on trend, and this shoe will sell out very quickly. So if you get the opportunity to buy the shoe, go get it, because it's that good. Kind of similar to what the previous Kobe's were like, the Protros and things, you know, they're not going to be long, they'll get snapped up. The good thing is that they're not going on the sneakers app, they're just kind of on like the Nike website. You get them on Foot Locker, you'll get them on other places like Pro Direct Basketball, so they are available, but just keep an eye on release dates. If you pick a colour that you really like, make sure you snap it up. It's not going to be there long, alright? Thanks for watching. Thank you so much to all the subscribers. As last time I checked, we're now over 250, which is fantastic. What I will say is, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bells so that any new content that comes up, you get that notification through. If you like the video, hit the like. If you get any questions or comments you'd like to make about the shoes, feel free, hit them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If I don't speak to you then, have a good Christmas, Happy New Year. Until then.